Alrighty, so, welcome to the, Monday, noon. I have no idea what to classify this because it's like 11 in the morning right now. I've been awake for a while. I've been awake for a while. Yeah, I've been awake for a while now, so there's that. But, yeah. Well, I woke up at like 6 because I had to get back home. Anyway, I'm your host of Parflower39. Today I'll be streaming Vindictus. Now, I have made a personal declaration on Twitch, or on my Twitch stream, as that I'll be streaming for the entirety of this week on YouTube exclusively. Of course, I'm not on contract, so it's not that exclusive in the first place anyway, but I figured, again, to expand horizons and to try and get familiar with YouTube as a platform, may as well. Gotta start making videos at some point anyway, so. So, this week, I was thinking of doing a designated playthrough, but the problem is that, well, there's a lot of things I personally want to go through. This week is the release of Vindictus' Achel, but just as importantly is the release of Armored Core 6, The Fires of Rubicon. So there's that. And then the week after is the release of Starfield. It's like God is insulting me or something like that. Just like, yeah, no. Hey, Apart, you want to spend money? No? Well, I'll have you know, fucko. You're gonna really be into these games. So yeah, to say the least, my pockets are going to be very empty. Anyway, let's get started with Vindictus. Now, as I said, Achel is coming out tomorrow, the new hero class, and effectively, Achel is basically Achilles from Troy. Or, if you want to be more pedantic, just based off Achilles from Greek myths of the Iliad. And so, while I'm not exactly, well, quote-unquote, excited in the more traditional sense, I am at the very least more eager to play him. I have looked over footage from the Korean side of things, as he was released there first. Yes, as he was released there first, but that besides, I've been trying to get familiar with how... One moment.
Hello.
Give me a sec. So I've been trying to get familiar with how he may or may not play. So to say the least, yeah. There's that. So, I'm trying to think right now. Because right now I gotta reorganize some stuff right now. And along with that, I already inputted my Nexon security code. Account it's basically two-factor authentication. But yeah. Give me a sec to just okay. Alright. Well, give me a sec to just... Ooh, boy. There we go. Alright. So, I'll have to brute force it a bit. Alright, so, Vindictus. The game that is... Honestly, it's hard to define how I feel about Vindictus. It's one of those things where, on one hand, I like it a lot. Well, I like it enough that I can pretty much play through it after all these years. But even then, there's a lot of stuff that I really don't like about it. And that's mostly just due to the fact that it's a Korean MMO. Or at the very least, it's a Korean game, and Korean games are grossly notorious for being heavily monetized. To which, to my chagrin, while working, I have spent a considerable sum of dollary dues. I'm sure someone might blame me and judge me, to which I embrace the contempt. But all the same, it's wrong for me to say that, despite that, I still have something. I don't know. I'm in horrible agony because of the money. The financial. But all the same. A mixture of, I wouldn't say pride, but just one part of shame, the other part of me is like, alright, so right now I am playing as Achel. More particularly, I am playing the secondary weapon, the spell weapon. Yes, I am playing with the secondary weapon, the spell whip. And to say the least, I kind of like the spell whip. It's very fast, very, well, I wouldn't say precise, but it is fast, very effective. Just like wiping house. I know her assault weapon, the Casimir, or what is effectively a long-ass is her primary weapon, and I tried it. It was not terrible. Pretty slow, all things considered. Achel is recommended for those familiar with like action-oriented games. I feel the problem with Achel's primary weapon is just speed, and that's it. Whilst the whip does not have the speed problem. Along with that, it hits a lot more targets. So this stream is, for the most part, I guess you could say this stream is more of a warm-up for this game. I really don't know how to describe it. It's a little bit of a warm-up. It is for this week. It is a little bit of a warm-up to try and get the flow of the criteria. I can't be swearing like a sailor dropping out. And though I may have dropped it earlier, it's no less true. I gotta keep in mind Twitch is a more wild. Where's the impact of swearing if I swear all the time? Off to a fair-ish start. Not the finest moment, but not exactly the worst either. So I'm going to be playing as like multiple characters for this stream. Just so that way, at the very least, I get a decent sense of this, what all the characters are about. Because throughout my entire time of playing Vindictus, I have never ever played any of the other characters. I've never played the first generation characters besides Herc in any meaningful way. And even with Herc, I never used the greatsword. I just used the Tide, because the Tide is just absolutely goated. But in a Twitch stream I did not too long ago, I did start up like a bunch of characters. which I started playing at the very least for first generation characters, Lethia or Lan, twin spear style, not dual swords, because I wanted to know what twin spear was like. I'm familiar enough with it. I played Fiona. What? I played Fiona, in which I actually figured out to some extent that she is kind of sort of the first character. She kind of sort of is the first character to have a guard defense, like an actual guard defense. As the only character, again, context, the only character I ever played that has like total damage is Achel. And Achel's her deal that you cannot attacks. Yeah, Achel's her deal that you counter attacks. So in my playing as 10 characters, it was interesting to play as them. I started up a Latia character, and along with that, I started, well, off stream, I started a Nana character as well. Bear in mind, these are characters I've not spent much time with, so at most, it's just like, at most, all there is just basic stuff. What I did learn in that stream, though, was apparently the fact that characters have like a whole like grapple moveset attached to them, and it's mostly just due to the fact that it's like how they fly in the environment. It is and was fascinating to see, and on my off stream, I was curious to see how every character has like a different like thing going on. And so, for the most part, I've come to the, say the least, conclusion, as it were. I've come to a quasi-conclusion where it is that it's pretty much a universal, like, grappling moveset. Male characters and female characters have, you know, their own, are pretty much because the characters are gender locked, they pretty much share the same moves. So if Fiona does, or as Arisha here has shown, if you grab a grappleable character and like bring them to an environment like a wall, she will elbow them into the wall before backing away. And that's pretty much the same thing for Fiona. If the opponent's back is towards the wall, if your back is close to the wall and the enemy's facing adjacently, you pretty much force them to the wall and just freaking grind them against it. For the record, I also did this with male characters, more particularly with Lan, in this case, because he was the first generation character. And I want to love him. Actually, no, I did it with Kale. So pretty much with Kale, with the male moveset, pretty much the fact you just absolutely kick them into the wall. Pretty much, if the women are elbowing them in the gut so hard that they kick up the lunch, the men are just kicking the guys in the face, flat out. But yeah, the guys are just literally just dragging anyone that's grabbable and just slamming them before kicking them with a Spartan kick. It's kind of funny, actually. Oh my goodness, now we gotta wait for the vampire guy to come. It's him! It's the vampire! Why are vampire skeletons in this game? Blood Prince has been defeated. Yay! But now we must deal with another contentious issue. A contentious issue is the fact that the Red Prince is not yet done. Oh my god! The prince was actually a king! What were the odds? Man, season 1. In some areas it looks real stuffed. Also just down to the fact that also just down to the fact that a lot of let's say season 1 is not gonna be I don't mean it like a total insult, but due to the fact that this came out in 2009, so Half-Life was like 6 years ago. And I imagine the tools that exist now that exist now. Bow to the radiant mistress, fools. Yes, totally a sight for sore eyes. A warrior of great radiance is supposed to be just going around mommy stomping everything. Yeah, just mommy stomping everything and just totally getting atypical domination. I can't even be angry if I'm being honest. I really like the Paladin's design. Not just because, I'm playing a female character, but also just due in fact that when it comes to also the male design, it's pretty much just like straight up like plate. It's just straight up like plate and segmented stuff. While it's the Dark Knight, I also like the Dark Knight's design, to which it's very chitinous and just like very organic in a way. But yeah, it's chitinous and organic in a way, right? But at the same time, I want to say for tier 2, friggin' Dark Knight is really goated. Yeah, the Dark Knight tier 2 look is really goated. Just for the sheer fact that it just adds more spikes to the character. And that's the only reason. But yeah, that's the reason why. It just adds more spikes to them. Whilst the Paladin tier 2 design is just it's very messy if I'm being honest. Because you got like these floating pauldrons and just like the helmet just like totally like redesigned to have like eyes as well. Or like pretty much like a hawk-like visage on the front. And it's just like, he's like, yo, what the hell? I wanted like the beset look, Come on, bro. What is this crap? The fact that I have to have eyes. No. If I wanted eyes, I'd be a Dark Knight. That's because the Dark Knight is just really... It's because the Dark Knight is just like really freaking, streamlined. Alrighty, I'm trying to think right now. really gotta level up my whip, actually. I think when I first started off, I started off as like a spell blade, which is the Karaskamer, the long knife that Arisha starts off with. But now I want to use the spell whip just because it's, well, faster, and along with that, just much more wide encompassing. I'm sure that probably comes at the offset of damage, but even then, it's something necessary. At like high levels, let's be honest, damage is almost like one of those things that's kind of at quasi high level. So you're just going back and playing like the max level now is like 115. Before I think it was like 100. I never passed it until recently. But if the max cap now is like 115, going back and doing like probably like level 90 or even like 80 stuff is just a literal goddamn cakewalk. That's not exactly a problem either. And to think, this game was based off a Korean MMORPG that's, well, going on for like, what, 20 years now? 30 years, actually, now I think about it. Maybe even longer. Gotta check. How long has Mabinogi been going for? Point still stands. To think that this game, along with that game, is still standing is... Well, I'm not sure if it's a question of quality or just the fact that Nexon is stubborn. Maybe both. Bow to me. Oh, Starfield comes out. The universe is insulting me right now. The creator or whoever the hell is up there in the heavens watching is insulting me. Insulting all of us. It's like, yeah, it's a week away. Can you feel it? It's a new Bethesda game. Open universe. Haven't had one in a decade? Yeah, it's so soon. Oh, I can't wait for Starfield. I really can't. But I must hold out. Not because I'd like to, because I have to. Ugh, boy. Motivation, inspiration, fierce rondo. Oh my god. The screaming choir. Mana dissonance. You know what I find hilarious is that when it comes to standing endurance, first generation characters to second season characters easily have like the standing endurance thing going. But as soon as you really look into the back, like into the later characters, they just don't have a video prepared for them. And it's probably because the fact is just like we should just focus on making the character usable and fun. Then we should worry about these tiny little things. I don't know, I just find it hilarious. Just like every character has like every early set of characters has a video. And now I'm just like, yeah, let's go. It's just you able to recover from damage. That's all you need to know. Oh my god. Alright. Right now I'm trying to get familiar with the moves a little bit. Pretty much I need to do what is equivalent of a parry. It's not often you get a game with a whip. The only game I last played that had a whip was Elden Ring. Before that was Castlevania. Let's just say both of those games never had a character that used a whip, well, like this. Then again, both games respectively had like 2 variants of whips. I'm trying to remember, the whip that you get in Castlevania is like what? The vampire killer? And then it becomes the Morning Star. And then, actually no, I think the 2 became synonymous. But anyway, and then you got Elden Ring / Dark Souls. You have the regular whip, and you have the whip that, and then you have the faded whip. What's the difference? One has an option, the other doesn't. I wonder if there's like a sadistic smile on Risha's face. I'm trying to think, how long do I want to engage in this stream for? I've set a personal mandate to do 2 hours. Or 2 hours minimum at least. It's not much, but at the same time, if my Baldur's Gate streams have proven anything, is that longer isn't always better for streaming, that is. Sometimes it's better to do it in more diegetic formats a bit. And sometimes it's better to do it in more diegetic forms. Hence, again, the 2 hour mandate. For me personally, at least. Before I did like an hour and a half. Now, I feel after this much time. Yeah, it's not as terrible. And it really depends on the game. Sometimes I fall short like 2 minutes, but that's negligible. Speaking of Baldur's Gate 3, I've actually been playing. I played it again recently. I have not finished it, but I started a new playthrough, and it's for Oath of Vengeance Paladin. And to say the least, it was pretty fun to play. I played a monk playing Shadow character on my playthrough and stream. And of course I beat the game as well. But for all intents and purposes, the monk is pretty good, right? The monk is very good. You know how to play him / her effectively and swiftly. You can pretty much get it. You pretty much do it. It is, I will say this, it is a bit of a multiple attributes distribution class, but it is worthwhile if you know how to play it. Which I knew effectively when I played. I had the equivalency of a short sword attack, along with the equivalency of a because it was a quarterstaff, a D8, so a long sword attack, and because it was a magic weapon with effects, it was 1d8 plus, what was it, like 1d4 damage. Even if it wasn't, even that d4 damage didn't do anything, it did at the very least overcame, because it was magic weapon, it overcame magical resistance. So there's that. And yeah, there's that. And yeah, there's that. I will say that when I started my Paladin Oath of Vengeance character, sorry, I'm all over the place. Let's roll back. So back to the monk character. Yeah, I used the quarterstaff, the gold wormling staff. It was really good. And despite the fact that my fists were subjectively better, the quarterstaff did do well to lend me extra points of damage. So that was pretty good. And it doesn't hurt the fact that I also invested in the illicit powers, which I wouldn't say broken in like a sense of being like, oh, I was able to overcome this cheap gimmick. But it was because I invested heavily in illicit powers, it did prove to be a worthwhile investment. And an interesting roleplay of this character that is like flying with so much power. But yeah, it was really interesting to play on my first playthrough. So on my second playthrough, I wanted to learn a few things. More particularly, was every magic item that was found just like pre-designated there, or is it just like RNG? And I am at the very least pleased to say that at least on balanced difficulty, it is pretty much placed there on purpose. So when I played the Paladin and got the Sparkle, I went to go to the bog to see if the Sparkle Hens were there, and also to complete Kaveh's quest, or her redemption quest, as it were. To which, for the most part, the Sparkle Hands are still there. But yeah, the Sparkle Hands are still there, and with that in mind, I could pretty much quote unquote meta game and just like I could just pretty much meta game and just pretty much just go off of that. Go off like a guide to find like good magical items. I'm gonna use the sword just to see. But yeah, I can pretty much just metagame and use a guide to find everything. I mean, I expected certain things like adamantine armor to always be set, but even then, I expected like all the magic items I found were just like RNG based, but no, they're always there. Alright, so give me a second. So, in my newest playthrough, where I'm playing an Oath of Vengeance Paladin, it was interesting to play a bit more different. I was tempted to play some Minecraft, but I wanted to play Paladin because heroics and the like, alright? It was great. But anyway, with Oath of Vengeance Paladin, I am pretty much just playing almost insanely Paladin playing monk. Granted, the dynamic is significantly different. For example, I'm no longer using this, I'm supposed to use martial weapons more effectively to do so. And the particular playstyle I chose was to be a sword and shield, heavy armor, atypical monk. Or not atypical monk, atypical paladin. And to say the least, despite the fact that I'm playing that way, it was very interesting to see how the paladin approach is different. Not just from a roleplay perspective, because one thing about the paladin you always have to keep in mind is that to play as paladin effectively, you need to maintain your oath. And it is remarkably easy for the Vengeance to maintain that oath. Your whole deal is to pretty much fight for the greater good. Yeah, your whole deal is to fight for the greater good. And laws be damned, you are to smite evil where you see it is invested in judgment and wisdom. To which, for the most part, my stats are 16... I I believe it's 16 strength, 16 charisma, 14 con, and 12 wisdom. It's not that minimum 10. I know my dexterity is like a 10, and I'm choosing to play half elf too. So there's like racial bonuses that factored in too. Yeah, playing the Oath of Vengeance is very easy to maintain. And dare I even say, even outside the role playing combat, the paladins are just absolutely menace. Yeah, even in combat, paladin is just absolutely menace society. Because smite on crit is great, and even if you don't do the smite part, they still just like absolutely maintain battlefield so effectively that it's just not even a joke. With the monk, with the Way of Shadow monk character I was playing, I was pretty much always playing it like an assassin type character, just like cheesing it, just like going invisible, strangle the one guy, disappear, strangle the next guy, you know, that type of deal. Whereas the paladin is just like straight up, just like, come on, face me. I know you want to face me. I'm right here, fool. I'm still standing. You know, it's like that. Along with that, it doesn't hurt. And along with that, it's also pretty easy to play tank by AC standards, at least. But yeah, it's very easy to tank by AC standards because a lot of the time, at the very least with tier 1, a lot of the enemies were missing me. It doesn't hurt as well. Again, let's roll back to roleplay real quick. It doesn't hurt as well the fact that when it comes to charisma, I am absolutely goated. Because I have like, because I'm like +3 and I have proficiency in persuasion and intimidation, I can effectively be a kind-hearted paladin. It's like, look, let's talk this out, and, you know, let's negotiate. So then, like, okay, negotiations are out. You ever wonder what it's like to be on the end of a sword? You know, that type of deal. And the best part is I don't have to rely on the illithid thing. I actually am trying to do like an illithid-less run, if I'm being honest. Like, I'm just ignoring what the Emperor is asking, or is it? Yeah, I'm just ignoring what the voice in my head is telling me in the game. It was like, hey, why don't you pick up the slug? He's like, no, I'm not picking up the slug. I'm just gonna pick up the loot around the slug, and that's it. But yeah, that's what I'm trying to do. By the time I reach meeting the voice, the Emperor. By the time I reach that point, I'm just gonna be like, I trust you with basic sense of protection. I'm not trusting you with football. I'm not trusting you with more than that. We're cohorts in this matter, right? Let's not kid ourselves into pretending we're friends. Yeah, let's not pretend we're friends here. We're just cohorts in this matter. You're helping me and I'm helping you. But when it comes to the final moment deciding what's going on, yeah, no, I'm just gonna say, I don't trust you that much, so I'm gonna go help that guy instead. Alrighty. So, let me think right now. Let's move away from Baldur's Gate. What else is there to talk about? Let's roll back to Starfield real quick. I've already exclaimed my undying want to play the game. But let's talk about what the game is supposed to be about, right? So, Starfield is the newest Bethesda game, obviously. It's supposed to be their newest IP / newest space game. It's pretty much. So the basic gist of what I understand is that it's going to be like every Bethesda game you've played so far, but space. Which I'm sure if this was like any other game, like developer like Ubisoft, that would be like, oh god, another Ubisoft open world game. But bear in mind, despite the fact that Bethesda had a fumble with Bethesda Game Studio, I should say, had a fumble with Fallout 76, it is, for the most part, this track record has been pretty rock solid, all things considered. From Morrowind forward to Oblivion to Skyrim to Fallout 3 to Fallout 4, all the games have been pretty much successful in that metric standard. To say the least, Starfield is hopefully to be better. Now, there is some right to be skeptical, or the more pessimistic approach, as it were. The more pessimistic, there is some room to be skeptical. There's very little that the game has to, show for beyond what has been talked about, as well as even shown off in, like, moderate gameplay details. You've seen the shooting, you've seen the flying, you've seen the creating, you've seen the RPG and all that, but how is it gonna be in my hand? All these flowery words, they're nice, but I like to, have some tangibility, as it were, and that's the reason why I'm being honest. Even I despite being excited by hearing these things, I like to see the tangibility in it. I mean, how many people are like that when Baldur's Gate 3 was an early access? How many people are like that for Ready or Not, the game, right now? But yeah, as much as we like hearing all the talk and the walk, all the talk and the squawk, we like to see the walk and the walk. Oh, God. Really? Anyway, but yeah. We would like to see all these, nicer things in a tangible and doable thing. A doable state. I am personally very optimistic about Starfield. I'm not completely blind as to the potential problems that may arise on day one, as well as even the fact that it's early access. Coming out in early access for like the first week, like 5 days before release. There's undoubtedly going to be a ton of problems that will, well, who knows, might occur. Damn it, is the thought of a new space game and a new Bethesda game not froth-worthy enough at least? I've played space games before, Star Citizen, as well as even on an indie front, what was it called? Spaceborne, there we go. Even on the indie front, Spaceborne 2, I have played. Having like something that actually is like that proper is just nice, you know? Star Citizen's Squadron 42 module has been in development for quite some time, and though I have played Star Citizen in the Persistent Universe, you know, I kind of wish, you know, there was a lot more polish. Mostly in the PvE elements, as well as just the fact that I hope I could shoot someone without having like a 20-second delay and realize I got domed in the process. And then there's Spaceborne 2, to which, you know, Spaceborne 2 is very good. But just as well, it's very scuffed due to it being an indie game. Give me a sec. Yeah, it's very scuffed when you really... It's very scuffed when you really look at it with the indie game stuff, you know? It's not as though it's badly executed. In fact, I dare say it's wonderfully executed. But yeah, no, to have like a AAA, a big budget AAA space game that has
What can I do for you?
That has space and on foot stuff. It's just, damn it. You can't turn away from something like that easily. The frontier of space is something that should be, at the very least, wondered about. In both a whimsical sense and, dare I even say, horrifying sense as well. I expect there to be the original Bethesda jank, as it were. Like, for example, you got NPCs walking the walls on occasion before just realizing, oh wait, I gotta do this now. I expect something like that to at least happen at least once. Along with that, I expect, if we're gonna be more pedantic as well, and more practical, probably a lot of like pop-in, like texture pop-in at some point, some LODs not properly loading in. And then again, they did claim that there was that the extra year in delay did help. Yeah, a lot of the design of their, a lot of their RPG design as well apparently has been redone as well. For example, it's much more hardcore in the sense that you get to choose like how you want to be. There's background, there's traits, you know. Everything that New Vegas is praised for, so to speak, with that. But now a bit more defined in a sense. Actually, another thing about it, it's not as though Bethesda hasn't done this before, as it is the original first Elder Scrolls, Daggerfall being and you choosing the background and the traits. So in that sense, pretty much Bethesda going back to a more RPG emphasized approach. Yeah, Bethesda going back to their more emphasized RPG approach. Having, you know, builds, stats, as well as backgrounds and features. I can't wait to be a kid stuff full hero Ronin. Just like you have my character just like acting like a total edgelord, just like my parent, just like I left my home to seek out a better purpose. And I saved this village to felt like all with my trusty revolver. And then you just got like around the corner, just like my in-game mom and dad just like, oh, sweetheart, look at our darling boy, acting like a big tough hero. Mom, Dad, stop! I'm trying to be cool. And then you just got like the freaking like adoring fan, just like by the tenor, it's you. You just like come off as like the biggest dork ever. That's something that you could probably write up and, you know, do in Starfield. That headcanon. That's actually something that all the developers have been pushing for as well for Starfield 2. Or, yeah, for Starfield as well. Just like, because like your character is however you want them to be. Go nuts. You also can go anonymous if you don't want to. If you just want to go into the game, just like no traits, no nothing, just total blank slate. But honestly, I feel like for some people, going full anonymous is just not worthwhile. Literally, maybe for a first-time playthrough, just so that way. Mostly just because you're not really, you know, choosing and starting with anything particular. You're just kind of, sort of, at this like. You're just kind of, sort of, just like this nothing character that came out of the ether. Then again, you know, maybe that's one way to roleplay it, but. I don't know, I feel like some people would like to go for a more specified route. Again, some people want to go for like the space hauler. Some people want to go be a chef. Others, again, like I said, just be the space Ronin edgelord with the that's also a mama and papa boy with a fan just tracking their every move. And he's just, despite the fact that he's got like this cool aesthetic, you know, he's just a really big dork. But he's the type of dork that's just like really cool. But yeah, no. There's also the matter of quest design. I would imagine, they haven't really talked much about how their quest design is any different right now. And for the most part, I imagine it would be take after modern Elder Scrolls, so Skyrim, in which you could do them individually. But I think they did mention at some point each faction, depending on the faction, they will cross over with each other. And there will come a point where you have to choose to which. That's pretty much something Morrowind does. Say for example, if you're working with the Dark Brothers, you're gonna come at odds with the Morrowind Tom. But yeah, if you're going against, like, if you're looking for the Dark Brotherhood, you're gonna come against the Morag or you're gonna be fighting at odds with like, another skill. You know, it's stuff like that, where at some point, while you can reach it, well, you can do it to a certain point, it's going to cross over where you need to decide which side you want to be. Although, maybe that's only for the first. I would imagine that's probably only like quests instead, as that was talking to you. Much like how Skyrim has the Civil War. There was this one YouTube short I watched about how, like, Starfield's main quest is gonna pan out like Skyrim. It's pretty much just like, oh, you gotta find these ancient artifacts. It's like, oh, you gotta find these ancient artifacts, and, you know, you gotta stop the threat that's gonna come out of them, as some ancient alien race is coming out to try and destroy all of humanity. And I don't know. I mean, it's certainly, I will say this, it is certainly feasible that they may go with that approach, but I don't know, that doesn't seem entirely the case. Or at the very least, I personally believe that's not entirely the case. Yeah, I feel like that's not entirely the case. I would imagine, yes, you do need to go out and find the artifacts, but it's less to It's less of a matter of trying to stop like some alien race or some ancient alien race that's like coming out of the ether to kill all humanity. And probably moreover just trying to discover what is it they found. Is it instead like some sort of eldritch horror instead, and just like they much like the Dweemer when they tried summoning Azora, they're just like, oh god, it's too much, and just got snapped out of existence? Or is it just like something else? Honestly, it's more intriguing just to figure out like why these artifacts are so important anyway. The end result doesn't really matter that much in the pedantic sense, I guess. It's more of just the mystery of the artifacts that I'd like to learn more about. Whether the outcome does lead to ancient aliens just coming out is just, you know, it's not really relevant. It's just one of those things that just, I guess, happens when you dick around with like ancient artifacts in space. But yeah. Alright, so right now I'm playing as Lethia, or Lan, whatever. I've named it Lethia. I'm playing the Twin Spears, which for the most part, it is interesting. Yeah, it is interesting to play the Twin Spears, as unlike the Twin Blades, the Twin Swords, you don't have any like active skills. It's just raw memorization of sets. But yeah, it's a matter of just remembering the sets and how they go. Like for example, light attack, smash. Light attack, smash. Light attack, smash, smash, smash. You know, that type of stuff. And then you gotta like... yeah, you gotta just pretty much memorize which moves you gotta do and let's circle back to Starfield a little bit. Last bit of thought, I promise. I do hope that the Radiant quest system comes back to some extent. I heard there's gonna be like, apparently like notice boards, to which I would presume at the very least there is probably gonna be like Witcher type quest, or just like contracts, you know, specialized side quests and like. But I would also like to imagine those notice boards are also double Radiant quest generators, basically. Skyrim had something like that to some extent, with the barkeeps just like, hey, what's going on around here? The Jarl is putting out a bounty for this bandit located here. Might be worth your interest, right? You know, that type of thing. But instead of having to talk to an NPC and get it, instead just like go up to a notice board, just like you got like one like special request, requesting cargo hard, figured out with like a Dextro 2 storage system. And then you got like a bunch of like other generic ones like help wanted, get rid of like 12 space squirrels invading my farm. And the other one just like, hey, I need help with bandits. We'll pay X amount of cash to deal with bandits. Stuff like that. So I do hope Radiant quests to do with the release and make a return in that sense. Because I'll be honest with you, any other open world art I feel like it kind of sort of lacks that sorry, got a little distracted. Anyway, so I do feel like, at the very least when it comes to like open world games, they always slack on just like, what do you do after the main quest is done and all the like primary side quest is done? You're just pretty much stuck in like this open world with like admittedly a lot of things to do as a sandbox, but in terms of just like a more quote-unquote precise thing to do, it's kind of sort of just like stripped bare. And I dare say when it comes to Bethesda's Radiant Quest's design, though not exactly the best, they do offer up just like a set number of like things you can do. Yeah, they do offer up like a set things that you can do, and you know, without like a particular like headcanon goal you want to aspire for. At the very least, a headcanon goal that's just like involving like, oh, I want to become the best of the bandits or some crap like that, or something like that. I should say. Sorry, I don't mean to insult anyone that wants to become a bandit, but yeah, just like I want to get money so that way I could get my own house, or I want to get money for this thing, or I just want to be a helping hand type thing. But yeah, that's why I always feel like that it's strange that in a game like Witcher as well, or even Cyberpunk, there isn't like more mundane things to do. It's always like something special for the player to do. I wish there was like more mundane things, like again, take out 12 space squirrels and kill space bandits. Again, you know, I'm surprised there isn't more stuff like that in open world games. To just have like randomly generated, like generic quests. It makes the world feel, at the very least, somewhat more alive. I'll be honest. It makes it feel somewhat alive, just knowing that there's always going to be someone out there that either needs help or that's always in trouble. Is it always going to be the same place? Probably, depending on the locations that you visit. But still, it always at least keeps up the illusion before just like you peer through with your like 12. Alright, let's move away from Starfield. I've taken up at least a good, well actually I've taken up a good quarter of an hour on that front. I think at least. Yeah. Nothing else going on. I'm just... Actually, no, there is something going on. Armored Core. Fires of Rubicon! He's coming out this week. I am looking forward to that. I've not played the Armored Core games, if I'm being honest. The closest I've come to playing it is the more recent Daemon X Machina, to which I personally, I don't know. I like Daemon X Machina in a gameplay sense, but I really don't like it in a story sense. To which, I will say, I'm not expecting the same thing for Armored Core. I'm expecting Armored Core to at the very least much more, what's the word for it, on the nose about it. Just like, instead of just like have like some sort of like advanced prose and like engaging characters in a more conventional sense of like this. Hey, my name is Franklin. I have this wife and daughter waiting for me at home at Praxis 5. You ever... Boy, I hope I don't die on this mission. I was hoping for like, hey, I'm your commanding officer. I'm the guy that's in charge of this. Let's do shit. I'm expecting that type of character connection, just like I'm expecting that type of characterization where it's just like, I'm your CEO, I'm your boss, I'm the guy in charge of your contracts. Let's do this, right? Let's get some money. And then it's just like when the moment just like you realize you got screwed over, you realize you got screwed over, not by like your guy that did the contract, but like someone else. You're like, it's like, man, what a prick. Oh man, that sucks. We gotta get back at them. And it just so happens to be a contract. Why don't we say we get even, shall we? You know, that type of deal. The thing is with Daemon X Machina is the fact that all the characters, at the very least when it comes to one particular character, Savior, they all just are really eh. And that's really all I could say. It's just that they're very, eh. Savior is just the worst, though. I absolutely abhor Savior. Much like this one other guy in another, in a visual novel, I abhor a guy in Andromeda 6. It's a guy named Damon. He's just like assuming things about me, and I don't like being assumed. Why? Because it makes an asshole of you and me. As my old man said. Yeah, look at that. Alright, but yeah. Boy. You know what's funny? Is that when it comes to Armored Core 6, a lot of people will question, is he gonna play like Elden Souls games? To which Miyazaki said, no, you fuckheads! It's not gonna play like any of those. It's gonna play like an Armored Core game. To which everyone in the Armored Core community just collectively just like, whew! Man, it's a good thing Miyazaki knows what the hell he's talking about at least. You know what? That's pretty much a given. Whenever people expect to play, the Souls games, Elden Seki Souls, right? Whenever people are expecting those games, they expect that to play. They expect the brutal, difficult combat, the amount of time you're gonna die being like up to like 20 minutes. And just, you know, you having to build up your characters. You having to build up your characters and, you know, do all these other crazy stuff that you can pull off. You know, people expect that. I'm sure the Armored Core fans were just like concerned, the Armored Core fans were just very concerned about like, man, are they gonna just turn into Dark Souls but with mechs? And again, the collective sigh of relief when Miyazaki said he's going to play like Armored Core. He said, yes, finally, it's Armored Core's time to shine. I don't know much about Armored Core, but I understand that it's pretty much based off player skill, player equipment, and that's it. It's pretty much just all those together. Very skill-based, and to some extent based off the quality of your gear. To which, I imagine it's like, got like a rarity and level system. Like, for example, a level 1 gun is going to be better, is going to be inferior to that of like a level 6 or 12 gun. And and if it's not that, then I imagine that probably or hell, even manufacturers as well. Because that's also a thing. That's also a thing to account for. Well, because I've used the game before, I'm gonna use an Obsidian game. Much like how the Outer Worlds has like all these like different brands, I imagine Armored Core is gonna be the same thing, except as each weapon is gonna be different by function compared to their weapon class. Like not all rifles are gonna be the same. All like assault rifles or machine guns are not gonna be the same, as some will like have slower, others will shoot faster, some will have lower magazine capacity, others will be a bit more higher at the expense of quality of I say quality munitions, I don't mean like, oh, it's a case of FMJ versus surplus. No, it's a matter of just using like, it's like lower caliber. That's why it's like high cap. Uh. Alright, what do I get? Are these spears? Yes, they're spears. Excellent. Alright, I'm concerned that one of my characters that I have in my loading screen is going to get me a copyright strike, because the problem with well, right now one of the few problems I deal with is the fact that there's like this series of costumes that are premiere that players can get, that's called the curves sets. Let's just call it that because the actual name is all curves. But yeah, there's this set of cosmetics that's just called that, which is pretty much... I'm not going to describe in vivid detail, but pretty much, you know those Skyrim body mods that MMOXR, the MXR did back then? Yeah, well, it's pretty much that, except for MMOs. But yeah, it's pretty much the I can't even be angry as I actually have those outfits. They are, well, they certainly are eyeful, that's for sure, but that besides, I'm concerned that there is one particular outfit that I have, well, to say the least, get me doubly in trouble, because 2 moons are just out, shown prominently. And those moons are not front-facing as well. Look, I'm greatly concerned of that, alright? I feel like I'd be towing the line heavily if I just showed it all cavalierly. I wonder how much grab hold really works back then. I know that these movesets really good. But it's clear that at least against the boss, damage. And this stuff does clear out the movesets. Alrighty. More and more combat. gotta shave right now. Let's just say my facial hair is not exactly pleasant. Well, I wouldn't say it's like... I'm trying to think right now. How to describe my scruffed face. For the most part, it's just like... I don't think I could grow a beard at my current age. For the record, I'm only like the last 2 digits of this year, so. But yeah, no, for the most part, I can't grow a beard for squat. My old man can have like a reasonable and respectable 5 o'clock shadow, but for me, all I get is literal freaking facial hair that a fisherman in China. Fall, everyone. Trying to think right now. I'm running this on DirectX 11 right now because before it was running on DirectX 12. I'm trying to figure out what is the difference between every DirectX version. I know there's probably like some effects in it, but I still would like to know what is the actual difference for visual effects. Is it like one is like what, more stable or some such like that? The other is like more supported, it's got like a bunch more stuff. I'm trying to figure out, man, you know. All this DirectX stuff just goes over my head. Quick. Right now I'm checking for something. Okay. Apologies, I had to just check something real quick. Let's see here. Repair. Yes, I don't want to talk to Ferguson. Ferguson. Yes, Ferguson. Yeah, I got the spiderwork pants. Man, you can definitely tell with Lethia's armor. with Lethia's armor, beyond the sub-material attached to it, a lot of it is just like really, It shines, but it's not like the right shine. It's not like the right shine that it should. Then again, maybe it's just because of the texture. It's just like really, it's like really old. That's why. A lot of legacy armor never really maintained that well. It's only until you like look towards season 2 to 3. Plays a Kel. I'm gonna take the story seriously again because for the most part I forgot what the story was about anyway. Look, all I know about Vindictus is that it's all about two people that loved each other so much but abhorred what they become. With one character becoming a goddess, the other one becoming the chosen god with fire. In a weird sense, you'd call it Romeo and Juliet, but I'm pretty sure even Romeo and Juliet wouldn't be this comical and how much of a parody. Mostly because it ended up with both of them dying out of irony. Whilst here, it's just like you two just became gods, and you can't work out each other's differences. I'm just imagining what Keegan's thinking right now in current Mabadonia. Assuming Vindictus' story, season 1 forward, holds up to Mabinosi's world, that'll mean that just like casually Keegan and teams are just like, so how many morals did you screw over today? Over 20. Over 1 million. What about you? I'm trying to kill them still. Subject of Vindictus. I know that Kel is supposed to be almost being words. The difference between the two is that Kel is focused primarily on counterattacks, whereas the Kel seems to be more focused on defense. Achel is just really focused on being defensive. Achel is focused on being defensive, given the fact that a lot of his resets are relying on him thrusting the spear towards, just like, pretty much lunging for the enemy, basically. Whilst Achel is somewhat the same thing, but his whole deal is that he counterattacks. And he's the only other character besides Fiona that can theoretically block all damage. At least that's what I think that Achel can do, because I know that when I spam Mouse 2, it just ends up being hilarious because I always just somehow negating major damage. It always counts as like a parry as well. Alrighty, I'm trying to think. How far am I in right now? Oh, about an hour and a half. I could probably squeeze out. Well, I could squeeze out definitely for the next half hour or hour. Like I said, 2 hours is my minimum, but I can stretch out a bit more if I would like to. I want to play a high level character right now. I only have like 3 high level characters. One is level 75, one is level 100, and the other one is level 104. Hey, look, as long as not one of them are level 4 themselves, it's fine. Be bad luck if I just have like 4 level 4s. Speaking of which, I should probably deal with the characters I wanted deleted. Yes, I'm deleting characters, okay? I gotta friggin'... It's not like I gotta make space, but just because I wanna rename them. It's cheaper than to shell out 20 bucks just for renames. Yeah, the character's been deleted. You're on the chopping block, Silas. Come on. Alrighty, so... I just realized I have more female characters than I do male. 1, 2, 3. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I have 7 female characters. I can't even be angry. Time to start up another character. Let's make that 7 and 8. Oh, crap.
Lan is a master of the twin.
I am Tessa, a mesmeric swordswoman who wields the delicate...
Ira mows down her enemies with her mana revolvers.
Look, I may have deleted my Ira character, but she was level 2, and I wanted to give her a better name. Should I delete my Arisha character? Actually, I got like a lot of stuff on that. I don't think I would want to try and delete her anyway. And not immediately, at least. I'm trying to remember. I know that... I'm trying to remember. I believe Ira as well as Arisha are supposed to be sisters. Should probably give them the same names and last name at least, so give me a sec. I'm gonna do an Ira character. I would like to at the very least give her the same last name, just so that way we keep the trend going.
Lan is a
I named Evie Evelyn. I named Fiona Teresa, and I named what was it? Latia Leona. I should have saved the. I should have saved Teresa the name for Tessa, because her name is, well, Tessa. Tessa, Teresa. I mean, it's possible. But screw it. I'm gonna call her Veronica, or no, not Veronica. Vanessa. What's the last? Valte. Okay. It's the Valte twins. What can I say?
Ira mows down.
Alrighty. Let's see here. Alright, so each character respectively, I've had like quote unquote color coded to some extent. I'm trying to think right now. I remember I had Latia be, or yeah, I had Latia be like purple. I had Sharon be pink, or pink. Let's go with that, sure. And I have Arisha red. Well, not entirely, but yeah. And I also have Lethor blue, or at the very least pale blue. Should I follow the same trend and just the color code trend a little? Just have Ira have red, a streak of red in her hair. Yeah, why the hell not? Let's go with it. Streak of red. Although that red is a bit bold. Sorry, give me a sec. I'm seeing. Can I? Oh, I can. Oh, there we go. Uniformity across the board. Uniformity across the board. There we go. She now has a streak of red in her hair. I should probably do the same thing for Arisha now that I think about it. I think all I made with her hair was just like full black. Let me see real quick. Well, I mean, it's not a terrible look, but at the same time, let me think. I made the mistake last time of making Ira's hair just pure white, and it's horrible. Mostly just due in fact that because it's pure white, in a lot of situations, it has like, it sticks out like a sore thumb in every situation. And so yeah, I'm just not gonna do white. I'm just gonna stick with like dirty blonde, which is like darker shade of white. At the very least, it seems like a darker shade of white. Because if you go like true white, it's just gonna, like I said, it's gonna stick out like a sore thumb. And any lighting situation, it's just gonna look terrible. And so, I want to avoid that and just avoid the headache by proxy. Alrighty, let's see here. No, that's her Destiny outfit. The other Destiny outfit, I presume. Alright, nice, okay. Wow, we just went from, like, serious enough attire, skimpy, but somewhat serious, fairly serious, to just outright this. Alright. D here. She's got 2 guns, so... And I just... Would you ever believe me if I were to say that a Source game has chest physics? The answer is... maybe. I think Ira shares the same... I'm trying to think. I think she shares the same dance with Arisha. I could be mistaken on that front, though. Alright, am I happy with this? Let me see without the outfit again. Is there not like a neutral stance that she has? Or she's not doing anything? You know, let's just go with that numerical metric. And you know, that's about it. And I'm pretty fine with this. Alright, so her name, let's just stick with what is fine. Valte. There we go. I'm gonna get this character level 10, and then afterwards I'm gonna switch over to a high level character, just so that way at the very least I can confirm at the very least with Kale that what I think is correct. Skip the tutorial, it's not relevant. Skip the tutorial, it's not relevant to what we need to do. There we go. This shade of hair color suits this lighting very well. If you think this seems harsh... Alright, real quick, let me just... Sure this guy won't mind, but... Look at the contrast in the two of our hairs right now. Notice that the white of this player's hair is blending into the blouse of their character. And look at mine. Mine, at the very least, has some contrast, and that's what I'm looking for. Thank you for being an example, Green Math, the player of Green Math. Hope you have a nice day. But yeah, just having pure white hair is just not fun to look at. Just has no contrast, looks awkward, and just very meh. Alright, so, Ira. I played her once before. I found her to be pretty good, enough, I guess. So he just straight up shoots people. I imagine this is what Kai plays like. Just pretty much just pulls up to people and shoots them in the face. So yeah, she just pretty much akimbo pistols people to death. Yeah, we got like quick attacks. Her dual mana revolvers just absolutely decimates anything in their way. I guess I must be using freaking standard shells right now, because spinning shoot. Spinning shot. Yay. Boy, I'm trying to think right now. Sorry, right now I'm checking on something. I know I'm checking on a lot of things out of stream, but right now this is one of those things that I won't say it's important, but it is somewhat I gotta confirm on my end. I got an active ability, Phase Burst, whatever that means. Time to put on the sweet new shirt and the sweet new gun. Yeah, just casually, man, the Crimson Blade mercenaries must be like really stacked with like all sorts of strange ass weapons when you think about it. It's like, oh hey, it's like, oh hey Lon, we got those twin swords in stock, but we also got these sweet twin spears as well. It's crazy. Fiona comes by. Oh, Fiona! Good to see you using that sword and shield that we loaned you. Hey, if you're interested, we also got a hammer too. You know, like everyone just like got like a particular weapon that does exist to some extent or another. Like again, Evie has like the friggin' Evie has like a staff / scythe. Kai has like an like a modified crossbow gun with a bow and arrow. Kakarot is just like, hey, Karok is just like, hey, Karok, we got a pillar for you if you want. We also got like these large cestus too. And then you got like Herc. He's like, Herc, sweet, you got a great sword. Hey, if you're interested, we also got a spare sword and a gun. Is that? And the gun is just like a 12-gauge shotgun as well. For Ira, it's just like, hey, Ira, I see you're using like 44 magnums. Hey, we got 357 magnums if you're interested. It's like, hey, if you're interested, Ira, we got like 357 magnums in the back somewhere, I'm sure. Just Merrick is just like so casual and cavalier. He's just casually giving swords away to like his fellow mercenaries. He just gives Ira just a pair of guns. So while I was cruising around on the internet, I bear witness to something that was just horrific, to say the least. I dare not utter it, lest my mind consumes me and I die of just total questioning of what is life anymore. But to say the least, when it comes to when it came to this thing on the internet, I bore witness to it countless times before, but never to the point where it was egregious. Let's just say I reached that point more recently, to the point that it got egregious. It was horrific, and I hated it. Like I said, I dare not utter it, lest my mind consumes me, but... Oh, I was clawing out my eyes after seeing it. And I delve into the well ever deeper so, to which it was even more horrifying just looking at it, as well as looking at the related subject. God is my witness, and maker above, I have no idea why it is that I decide to dwell deeper and deeper into the depths of depravity. How could another human being come up with such a questionable thing? How is it that we as a species have managed to create horrors that were once beyond imagination, but now is nothing more but truth? Ugh, boy. I don't have the clout nor reason to say it, but still, it was something. Nice, my game glitched out. Now you just see Ira just now freaking shooting. Oh, boy. Oh, Teve's gift, the most useless thing ever. Meditation. Meditation is just useless. I'm never ever invested in meditation. It is just extraordinarily not worth it. You'd be better off just investing that into something else. until later today. A decisive battle against a woman with 2 guns and a giant wolf. Who will win? I just love the fact that every time the play guide comes up, everyone is smiling. Don't smile at me. It's unnerving when people smile at me. I can't tell if they're happy to see me or they just want to murder me. Alrighty. Time to grab some knolls and just... Whoa! What the hell? I was not expecting that. Honestly, that was pretty baller though. I was genuinely not expecting Ira to just flat out just like roulette spin her way down. That was actually pretty cool. Alrighty, excellent. I just realized I did not change her eye color. Oh well. Not a total pain, but still. Still. Gun. You know, I've been getting into Greek myths lately. One of many who's just trying to understand because Achel is coming out tomorrow. Achilles. And so I've been thinking just like trying to find as much information like who or what Achilles was. As well as even other stuff related to the Iliad. like Odysseus. Oh wait, no, that is that. Is that right? Yes, Odysseus. Yes, I was thinking about Odysseus. I was thinking about something else. Anyway, yeah, no. For the most part, yeah. For the most part, the most thing I could find about Achilles is mostly just the fact that one telling has him like be dumped into like the river Styx. Yeah, have him be dumped in like the river Styx. He was shot. Yeah, his mother was like gripping him by like his heel. Thus, the Achilles heel is a thing. Yes, thus the Achilles heel is a thing. But like, there's like another telling that has him be. There's another telling that pretty much just has him be like an exceptional warrior with exceptional. Yes, an exceptional warrior with exceptional skills and battle tactics and prowess and like. You know, there's stuff like that. But one thing I was kind of curious about was his relation to Patroclus, to which the common consensus is that they were lovers. But to some extent, I'm kind of questioning that. Not the sense that they were lovers. More accurately, I feel like what was their relationship truly? Were they romantically involved, or were they just like platonically friends? Or more accurately, because this is something after looking into more extensively that I've come to a conclusion of, that they were more, that in terms of fraternity, they were close as brothers, to say the least. But yeah, in terms of fraternity, they were quite literally close as brothers. Now, keep in mind, when it comes to Greek standards of romance and intimacy, sexual intimacy was common enough between both sexes, both male and female. And so, to say that they would be... to say that they weren't, at the very least, physically involved with each other would be, well, a gross understatement of what they really were and what the consensus at the time was. So, it is in my opinion and knowledge and wisdom, I dare say, that they were physically intimate with each other. But in terms of like relationship and the like, I feel like fraternal brothers is the best way to describe them. Pretty much, you know the idea of like blood oaths and the like, in which both parties like cut their hand and just like reveal, cut their hand and bound each other through words and blood, making them connected. Yeah, I kind of imagine that's the same thing. Two were undoubtedly very close friends and brothers. Give me a second. All right. So yeah, Patroclus and Achilles were most definitely, I would personally say, fraternal brothers in that perspective. They were willing to live. They're willing to die and fight with each other, as well as, go to where both of them were. And that's arguably the best way to describe their fraternal brotherhood. I mean, think of it like this. It's pretty much the same thing. This is gonna sound stupid, but it's almost the same thing as in Adventure Time in the last episode of Adventure Time, or at the very least the one that involved like Marceline and Princess Bubblegum and their adventures. In the last episode where Finn is like dead and he's in the afterlife and he meets up with Jake again, pretty much the same thing is like that, where I imagine the same thing is like that, where the two would rather like would have like a hard time like going on with health. Finn himself was like saying like, after you die, you just really bummed out. Although in Achilles' case, he wanted an entire fucking rampage. So yeah, but yeah. In the end of that episode, I'm thinking of for Adventure Time, both of them, while Jake had the opportunity to ascend to a higher plane of existence, instead he went down into the cycle of rebirth so that he can be with Finn. And, well, to say the least, if we're gonna put that in context with Achilles and Patroclus, except instead of like going through the cycle of rebirth and just like willing to die for each other and live for each other, it's kind of the same thing. Again, the romantic angle, I'm not going to say the romantic angle is impossible. In fact, it is certainly possible, but looking at it from a more practical-ish standpoint, dare I say, kind of yes, it does stand to prove that it is also more likely to, again, stand brotherhood. Even the point where mixing their ashes together is the same thing. Even mixing their ashes together, having a request to have both of them die, have their ashes mixed together, like, is still something that, again, goes for brotherhood. That's my personal assessment on it. It is evident that when it came to the writing of the Iliad, that it was pretty open-ended with that relationship, apparently. It was fairly open-ended to some extent. Alright, so I'm gonna try and beat Crum Croc with watch as I auto-guard against literal everything. Yeah, you see that? Kale just auto-guarded against that. Auto-guard. Yeah, so apparently anytime you mash mouse 2, you're literally just saying, I just wanted to finish everything, and that's it. Auto guard, auto guard, auto guard. Man, it's like playing Devil May Cry's Royal Guard without the royal in it. Just guard, guard, guard.
Aaron has no need.
You know, it's interesting to hear like voice, like all sorts of voice actors in this. Mostly just due to the fact that each voice actor that I do just like a piece of media I've played prior. Tom Kurok's character, voice actor, I'm pretty sure. I'm trying to remember, he plays like, I'm pretty sure his voice actor plays Colonel Campbell from Metal Gear. For all those real OGs, G's there, he's also the same guy that plays like Grandpa Max from Ben the Tank. I'm gonna fight Crom Kurok constantly, because he's the only boss that I could effectively reach. Well, actually, maybe we should do like 2 more bosses.
Aaron has no need for your ilk.
So how long am I taking to beat each of these ROMs here again? Like 15 minutes top? Auto guard, auto guard, auto guard, auto guard, auto guard, auto guard. Auto guard. Counterattack. Auto guard, auto guard, auto guard. You just parry, parry, parry. You parry the damage. You don't parry the character. Why does it seem like Adohan's armor fits a spearman more than it does a dual-wielded character? I can't be the only one that thinks that bit right now, right? I mean, yeah, Adohan or Hodin's style just like freaking is twin sword, but still, it always seems like the spearman angle seems to fit him a bit more. Let's fight him, actually. I've not fight against many characters that was level 100, so let's try it. What was it? I'm trying to remember. What was it? Mysteria, I think? I know Adohan is like level 100 boss fight. There we go. I've yet to fight him. Let's fight him. My current stats are below recommended. Great. I need to raise my defense. Do I have... Am I wearing anything that's just like gonna... You know what, screw it. If I can't make it, I'll just pop a revive. It's not exactly the most delicate solution, but it's a solution nevertheless. Yeah, I got a ticket to spend stuff on. You know what, I may as well spend the tickets while I can. Today's the last day anyway. I spent a considerable amount of time trying to get an outfit duplicator. It's gonna expire next month, but still. Yeah, it expires next month, but I'm gonna try and use it beforehand. Screw it, let's fight Adohan. My stats are below average. Let's see if I can take him on with just a level 104 Kale. If I can at the very least beat him once, I'll be happy, alright?
This memorial is for every soul who has fallen. To Fomor hands. We've all lost so many. I've asked you here for a reason. I once thought you could turn the tide against them. And now you fight to usher in an era of peace. Peace with the Fomors. Never thought I'd see an end to this war. But bitter mercenaries and old hatreds have no use for peace.
Oh boy, he's already kicking my ass. Sunday already. I'm literally gonna have to stand and survive off just right now, just being him once is my goal. I've gone into this fight. I'm not about to pull out just yet. Fuck, that's for sure. Here, I'll just use all these mercenary potions to take on the succubus alone. What do I know? The Adahan's just, I'm only at the 7th health bar of Adahan, casually. So I knew I was going to get that with something, right? Now it's just a matter of I only have two lives left. If this was a raid fight, I wouldn't be able to revive. realize I had like 16 of them. I'm just freaking expecting like the freaking 3 I had daily if I'm being honest. Gotta say though, those twins still like a good ball. Last bar of health right now. A real dick and a half move just to tap out now. Like time. Look at that. I just love the fact that Adohan's armor is just like really scuffed up in his boss form. Contrastly, if you just look at the player character version, it's much more clean and well-kept. There can only be one Adohan, and it's me. Ah. Well, I'm gonna leave it off on that. I'm just happy I managed to even beat him in the first place. I can't even be pissed on that. I wasted a lot of resources, I shall admit. But nevertheless, I'm happy that I managed to at the very least beat him. At least once. So, that'll be all for today. One moment. So, yeah, that'll be all for today. Thanks for stopping by. Hope you enjoyed this stream. If you want to see more, I'll be streaming again tomorrow around the time of 12:30 around. I'll work it out, but that's the intended goal. As I said, I'll be streaming here on YouTube for the foreseeable duration of this week. And while I will be streaming Vindictus tomorrow and the day after, I will be streaming Armored Core, Fires of Rubicon, when that comes out too as well. So in a sense, it's a dedicated stream to Armored Core, but yeah, this is a bit more of a personalized for myself type of thing. So yeah, thanks for stopping by. Enjoy the stream. I'll see you next one. That'll be tomorrow on the time of 12:30. Till then, take care of yourselves. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.